Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Check, 1 2 1 2. Check, check. Check, 1 2 1 2. What's up, guys? I'll give everybody a chance to hop on. Let me know if you can hear me good. I always like to double check. Looks like I have a good signal over here on the left, but you never know. What's up, guys? What you're looking at is a picture of our family cat. His name was Thomas. Thomas departed this world a couple of days ago. He had been in our family for over 12 years. And he was a good little guy. He became very ill very quickly, and he departed this world February the 6th. Like I said, he'd been with us for 12 and a half years. So I'm going to dedicate this live stream to my little buddy Thomas. He would greet me at the door every morning, as I'm an early riser. And at 4 o'clock in the morning, he'd meet me outside the bedroom door, and downstairs we'd go. And he'd lead the way every morning to the coffee pot. So, kind of missed the little guy the last couple of days. But he was a good boy, and he's in a better place. He became very sick all of a sudden, and it was just his time to go. But he was a member of our family for over 12 years. God bless you, Thomas. Guys, as you can see in the title, I mention star forts, stellar forts, geoglyphs. What you're looking at now is a geoglyph. There's actually more than one. There's actually 3 here. Found these just recently. I'm going to do a video about these. You can see one here. This one's actually quite large. These things are all over the earth. All over the earth. You may have heard of them. They're called star forts or stellar forts. You can see one here. It's a little difficult to see. It's nestled in that city. So it's echoing. I can't see the chat. Hang on just a second, guys. I got to get some things ironed out here. Hold on just a minute. I guess we're echoing and all kinds of stuff, huh? Shouldn't be. Where's the chat? Oh, there it is. Sorry, guys. There you are. Is it still echoing? All right, let me fix this real quick. I can do it. Just enjoy the show while I get this echo figured out. There we go. Still echoing? There we go. Had it on a different monitor. When I go to a different monitor here in a minute, I'll make sure I have the right mic on. Sorry about that, guys. What you're looking at are star forts. These things are all over the earth. Ever heard of them? See this one here coming at you? Some of these things are over 500-600 years old. Still got the echo, huh? A little better? Hello from California, Michelle. There's that one there real close. Got its own water source. Self-contained little fortress. Yeah. Echo still present? I have no idea why. Still echo? You like the echo? I don't like the echo. Is that better? They're all off. How about now? What's up, Oscar? Yeah, that's probably better. There we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So you guys have heard of the Star Forts, Stellar Forts, huh? Pretty cool. And there's a lot of them, and there's a lot of them that we don't even know of. They go back even thousands of years. Nathaniel from Ohio, Kate, James. I'm going to try to keep up with the chat a little bit. This is a really big one. It's like a self-contained, you're going to see it here in a minute right here, self-contained, it's not really a city, it's not all that big, but man, the construction of these things was quite stellar to say the least. considering they're over 600, 700 years old in some cases. Some of them older than that. This one here you're going to see in just a second. There's a really big one here tucked away in the city, right there. You can't hardly see it. If you didn't know it was there, you wouldn't know it's there, but it's there. It's over in Cyprus. This one here looks like, I mean, they have similarities at least to a snowflake. Certain kinds of snowflakes. There's different kinds of snowflakes. In case you didn't know, there's probably 10 different. Hey, Nina. Thank you, Nina. Probably 8 different kinds of snowflakes. But yeah, they're kind of cool. I wonder if they designed them after snowflakes. Or even leaves. There's certain kinds of leaves on trees they look identical to also. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I've just found a few, not that many. From what I understand, there's hundreds of these things all over the earth. Hey, Mars. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. See the resemblance to this Christmas light right here? Christmas star? And the one you're looking at was designed and built back in the 1500s. It's pretty cool. That's over in Italy. This one here, I'm not sure. I'd have to look up and see. But I'm just showing you a few of the hundreds that are all around the earth. Pretty much on every, well, I know every continent. I just don't know if they're on every nation. Sorry about the echo, guys. I don't know what else to do. Everything's off. How about that flooding in Australia? Unbelievable. They have been through so much down there just since November of last year. Had wildfires that were out of control, then the heat wave, now the floods. Everything's out of balance. It's the solar minimum, guys. In fact, let me switch something up here real quick. See if we still have an echo. I know you're going to have an echo for a minute. Okay, is that better now? Thank you, Nina. Is that better? Yeah, I heard that over 100,000 cattle, probably closer to 300,000. Unbelievable. You know, that could put a weak link in the food chain. And I think it's because of this right here. Solar minimum. Solar minimum. You see what they've done to the chart, right? They've extended solar minimum. Solar minimum is extended now for at least another 2 years, and it's going to be even lower than it was predicted. So, guys, if you ask me, that's what's causing all of these crazy weather phenomenon that we're seeing all around the globe. Even here in the United States, you guys are commenting about the wild temperatures, you know, like today. Honestly, I saw on the website at Intellicast.com this afternoon at 1:44 p.m. it was 93 degrees in Kingsland, Georgia. And in fact, I took a screenshot of it because I couldn't believe it. 93 in February? I mean, it was warmer there than it was in in Miami. Well, about an hour later, that temperature changed, and it was down to 81 for the high. And I'm like, what? Because, I don't know, it just didn't look right. But that's what the temperatures read all day long. It went from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s. It didn't just magically jump to 93. It was consecutively all day long up in the 80s and then the 90s and then back down through the 80s. And all of a sudden they changed it to 81. And I'm like, how did it go from 93 to 81? But it's just another example of temperature extremes. We see it out here. This morning it was 35 degrees. 35 degrees this morning. Actually, it got down to 34. Thank you, Tracy. You're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate that. This morning it was 34 degrees out here in the desert. And I think the high was 58, but the sun felt hot. If you were out in the direct sun, it felt very warm. But the temperature, actual temperature, was only about 58 degrees today. So it was warmer in South Georgia than it was in the desert. Pretty wild. So it's a solar minimum, guys. It's, in my opinion, we can blame the sun. We can blame the sun. I remember back in the other solar minimum, we had some wild weather, and if you look back historically, like back in 1996, there was some wild weather back then as well. So it's not the first time it's happened. It probably won't be the last, especially with solar minimum dragging through 2023. Are you serious? I was looking for us to start heading back up to solar maximum at the end of 2020. So this graph has changed, just so you know. It has definitely changed. So okay, let's see how this sounds now. These are some pictures that were sent in here recently, guys. It's a picture of the moon and what looks like a bridge on the moon. It's a picture here sent in by Jared of something in the sky, and he said it definitely wasn't a bird or a balloon, so I'll leave it up to you to tell me what you think that is. This next banner is just simply a reminder to check your notifications bell and your subscribe button, because sometimes, for unknown reasons, we get unsubscribed from one another. Happens to me too. So just check your bell every once in a while. I do. Purple sky here. Look at this. This is from South Sweden. Got this today. The house is even purple, and I haven't adjusted this thing. That is the way I received it. I did not touch that. Totally purple. That was sent in from South Sweden. And this photograph here was sent in by Rory from Moreno Valley, California. Another pink sun, and that's a atmospheric anomaly from smoke in the atmosphere is what causes that. That is a stunning halo sent in from Saskatchewan. This here is just a funny looking photograph. It's of the eclipse, but I think the camera moved. So that creates what's called light drag. This is the ice jam in Nebraska. This was sent in by Jordan today. And there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of rivers look the same way all across the Midwest and the upper Midwest of the United States after that polar vortex. You're looking at Australia right now. Unbelievable what's going on in Australia. Unbelievable. Beautiful lightning shot here by Jody from Colorado. This was sent in by Becky from Indianapolis. And it's just a neat formation in the clouds. Something just doesn't look natural up there. This one again is of the moon. Can you see the shadow on the surface of the moon? And what looks like a bridge that's suspended above the surface of the moon. How about that? This is coming up after the moon here. That's a rocket that went over South Phoenix. I think it was last year. I actually saw that. That was sent in. Another gentleman from out here saw it. This was sent in by Scott and Jennifer of Something in the Sky. They just said it kind of looked out of place up amongst the clouds. Just another reminder here to check your bell, check your button, make sure that you're subscribed. Sometimes we get unsubscribed for unknown reasons. John from Oklahoma. Awesome sky phenomenon photograph. Nancy from Cave Creek. We actually saw that same picture as we were driving down the road, or the same skyline, just a few days ago. Thank you, A Sears. I think we're starting to buffer. Ooh, we are starting to buffer. Sorry about that, guys. Signal's bouncing over here. Just went up over 4,000. Wow. Thank you, Super Saiyan. What's up, Kevin? Sorry, guys. That was weird. My stream speed just jumped up over 4,000 for some reason. And it never goes above 3. Actually, 2,800. I like to keep it at 2,800, or that's normally where it runs. But for some reason, it jumped up to 4,000, down to 400. Now it's kind of leveled back out. Thank you, Annette. These photos are photos sent in by some really good sky watchers. I'm telling you, you guys have got an excellent eye for the sky. And that's something that I do when I go outside. My wife does the same thing anymore. You just go out. First thing I do is look up. Unless I'm by a busy street, and I look obviously for the street. But when I step outside at home, I definitely look up. That's where the action's at. Saskatchewan, you're going to see another big, beautiful halo on the horizon. There it is. All right, guys, we're going to try something here in just a minute. I don't know how well it's going to work, but we're going to give it a whirl. Got an article from Australia. You may or may not have seen it. I'm going to play it here in just a second. All right. Wow, thank you, Eyes on the Sky. Philibanu. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. I'll definitely look for your pics from Alaska. Kevin Coakley in Cardiff, Wales, UK. How are you, young man? No audio? That's what I figured. Hold on, guys. Okay, I don't know if you can hear him or not. Maybe you can hear me. Can you guys hear me good? Okay, hold on just a second. Can you guys hear me now? All right, cool. Sorry about that. Sometimes this can be really tricky with the audio. I don't know why. It's normally pretty good. It's pretty good software, but it can be contrary at times. I was just wanting to show you this article out of Australia. There's several, but I'm telling you, from Queensland all the way down the Gold Coast, down to Sydney, they've really had a lot of severe weather, a lot of flooding, a lot of wind, a lot of lightning. And like someone commented earlier, 300,000 cattle. I guess half of the cattle in Australia were in Queensland. So, I don't know, that's just not a good scenario. Well, here's what I wanted to play. I don't know if you guys would be able to hear it or not, but different captures from people. This one here was from Sydney. It's a power pole that gets almost blown over. Or the power line gets blown off the pole. Thank you, Julie. There's a tree on a car. Look at all these cars sitting in the water. roads got flooded instantly. Look at that. That reminds me of Hurricane Harvey. There's an amazing shelf cloud from down around Sydney. This is a time lapse, guys, of some flooding in Queensland. You can see how fast this came on. Just incredible. And this was a high area that wasn't supposed to be flooded, or hasn't really ever flooded in the past. They actually parked a train on those railroad tracks to keep the train safe from the flooding. And as you can see, it didn't work out too well. I have a picture somewhere of that railroad track with the train sitting on it. Let me see if I can find it here real quick. I got it. Can you hear me, guys? What we're looking at here is a still image from the video you just saw. And that is a train that's on the railroad tracks that you just saw get flooded. Hi, Penny from Michigan. That's the same railroad tracks that we just saw get covered with water. And the train they put up there for safety reasons, thinking that it was high ground and that it would not flood. Well, actually, it never had flooded. But this storm system was the definite exception to the rule. And you can see this train is leaking some sort of fluid. I don't know if those cars had fluid in them or what. If they were tankers, I have no idea, but you can tell something totally leaked out of those cars. It looks like a 5.0 earthquake in Russia somewhere. About 70 miles deep. Looks like it's a island coastal quake. Fairly deep, so it should be fine. But this train track was not supposed to flood. They weren't expecting this at all. So I'm telling you, Australia has really and truly been up against it. No doubt about it. Play some more pictures here for a while, guys. Still got good sound? It looks like we do. Got a solid signal, so I think we're rolling along all right. More new pictures in case you haven't seen them. Got a lot more to get through, and I'll definitely look for the pictures from Alaska. I really appreciate your pictures, guys. There's new ones in the photo gallery at the website every day. Went through several today. Then go through some more tomorrow. Enjoy the pictures, so keep them coming. I thank you in advance. So if you guys notice any big temperature swings tomorrow, drop me an email. Like today, I noticed that temperature, which would have been an anomaly down in South Georgia, that showed 93 degrees. If it's some crazy temperature where you guys are at, send me an email or let me know, and I'll do a video report about it. Like I did today. It was a 100-degree difference today from South Georgia to central Minnesota. 100-degree difference. You know, I've never been to West Virginia. Christopher, I have not. There's a lot of places I'd like to get to someday. I've heard West Virginia is really pretty. Seen pictures of a lot of places around the world, thanks to you guys and a lot of other people on the web. The web's definitely made the world a smaller place, that's for sure. If you'd have said 30 years ago that we could sit and do something like this, nobody would have believed you. Now see, it's showing in Kingsland tomorrow a high of 58. And if it was 93 today, it's almost a 40-degree change. Here, look. That's Kingsland right now. Look at tomorrow. High of 58 degrees. See that? Saturday, 58. Kingsland. And it was 93 today. Really? Doesn't make sense. Start doing UV readings here at the end of the month. Looks like we definitely need to with these wild temperature swings. Sorry about the internet connection. Just went from 130 to over 3,000. Have no idea why. Thank you, KC McCormick Jr. KC Mac. Yeah, so Kirkland looking at 58 for a high tomorrow. And what I saw was 93 today. Cold in Tennessee tomorrow. -3 in Bismarck. 24 Chicago. Looks like 28 in Rushville. 64 out here. So if your area is experiencing temperature anomalies, just send me an email. The UV, 74 West Virginia. Thank you, Beach Wave. 80 degrees yesterday, 38 right now. Cocotano, thank you. Yeah, seriously, there's something up with the temperature, no doubt. But again, it's solar minimum. Get used to it. I think it's going to be around for a while, guys. A few more years. A few more years. Definitely solar minimum. And it's not necessarily that the sun is minimizing or anything like that. We are not being protected by the amount of solar wind that we're used to being shielded by. The solar wind protects the earth. That's my conception of it, that's my perception of it. The solar wind protects us from cosmic rays, from interstellar space. So when we start receiving more cosmic rays from interstellar space than we do plasma from the solar wind, then the Earth is going to respond to it. And it's going to respond in strange weather pattern ways. So this doesn't surprise me at all. It's just the question is how wild is this weather going to get? You know, it's going to be okay. We're going to get through it, but solar minimum it's a big deal, man. It really is. That's why we're seeing a lot of these really cool sky pictures and different lights and things in the sky that we can't explain, like this one here coming up from, Los Angeles. It could be, these orange, red, purple skies that we're seeing. Thank you, Paula. I appreciate that. It's very kind. Thank all you guys for stopping by. But it's solar minimum, guys. That's what I think it is. I mean, we're starting to see these wild temperature swings. Wow. I mean, I think 40 and 50 degree swings now are the new rule instead of the exception, Yeah, 71 1 hour or then one day, and then 20 or 30 the next day. So I think we probably should get used to it. Yeah, the solar minimum has been extended for a while. So they say. I'm going to go back to these forts, guys. new geoglyph I found. I'll tell you about that later. -10, Chris Smith in Minnesota. Thank you, Bonnie. I just saw where it was -11 somewhere. Where did I see that at? Oh, -11 up in Bismarck. Sorry about that echo, guys. Echo, echo, echo. Sorry. How about now? We echoing now? Bismarck. Are we echoing now, guys? All right, cool. Probably got too many mics going. That sound better? That sound better? There we go. Sorry about the echo, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's a picture of the eclipse sent in by Scott. His wife actually took that with a Nikon 900, I think. But I think it had a little bit of light drag. I don't think the moon actually looked like a yo-yo. But you never know these days. Here's something I do when I sit here. No big solar flares coming to the Earth. No big solar flares anytime soon. And remember, even if there is, Earth is small. Earth is small. So even if there was a solar flare the size of the universe coming at the Earth, it's okay. Earth is only so big. It's like throwing Lake Michigan at a basketball. You know, it's only going to absorb so much water. That's it. The rest of it's going to go past. So don't worry about that. Solar minimum's actually a bigger concern. I've got some rare earth magnets here, guys. I'm going to show you. I can't get them too close, though. You see those? Those are more than just rare earth magnets. I had to sign a release to get those magnets. Actually, I had to sign a release to get them. Those magnets, I'm going to do some experiments with them, but those magnets can smack so hard they can break your finger. And I've got some even bigger than that. And they make you sign a release that you are on your own with those. They're very, very strong. I think the strongest you can get. I do a lot of things that I don't do videos about with magnetism and how magnetism would work in a planet and things like that. There's a lot of things I don't even talk about, guys, that I do. There's all kinds of stuff that I do that I don't necessarily do videos about because I'm still learning. So until I'm comfortable with what I'm learning, then I'm still learning. I've had some good teachers over the years, though. Some of my best teachers, my mentors, were obviously my elders. And one man was 96 years old. Probably heard this story before, but he was somebody I really looked up to, and he taught me a lot. And every time I would talk to him on the phone, we would talk for like 3 or 4 hours. And he would dump this massive download of information into my brain. And I would have to go just sit down for like an hour and just try to process just a small fragment of that man's just pure infinite wisdom. His name was John. He was from Minnesota. Super, super guy. Always enjoyed talking to him. He taught me a lot. Taught me a lot. And I'm still processing all the stuff that he told me over the course of 9 years. Great guy. Well, guys, listen, I think I'm going to wrap this up. We're getting close to an hour, and that was kind of what I'd planned on doing. To be honest, I'm a little tired tonight. A little tired. But I wanted to do the live stream about the forts, the star forts. I know a lot of you have heard of those. I'm going to talk about them later once I learn a little more about the star forts. I think they're just kind of a neat part of Earth's landscape. They're just kind of a mysterious feature. There is some written history about the star forts, and that's something that I need to read up on and get a little more knowledgeable about them. But they are fascinating to study, and the people that built them obviously were quite smart, well ahead of their time. So I want to thank you guys for stopping by. We'll talk about this geoglyph here probably next week. Show you guys where it's at. Found a couple of them actually just here recently. Alright guys, we are just about at 1 hour, and I'm going to call it a day. Thanks for stopping by, guys. I sure appreciate it. Be safe out there.